For the last 24 hours or so, Counter-Strike's matchmaking has been broken. Lobbies were broken. Ranks were broken. Now we know why. Valve has introduced unranked matchmaking to the game, temporarily breaking the rest of the game as it was readying itself for release. This update means that you can finally play matchmaking with friends, even if you're global elite and they're silver 1, or vice versa. Your rank won't be altered by how the match goes, and I think this feature is to let people just to have fun with their friends. Unranked matchmaking has been a requested feature for years, and while it's arrived, it's still not all here, just yet. You're restricted to scrimming in just the 3 temporary maps. Instead of operations, in the past year, Valve has introduced a few new community-made maps every couple of months. These are the only ones that you can play unranked matchmaking on. For now. I guess restricting it to these maps serves several purposes. It both encourages players to play on these new maps, and to have fun on them. It'll allow for a more serious game than in casual play, and thus will provide better feedback to the map's makers. But also, since your rank won't be affected by the matches played on them, I think competitive players won't mind giving these maps a go, knowing that their hard-earned rank isn't at risk should they lose because they're unfamiliar with these maps. I think there were hints to this scrimmage mode the other week. On the 22nd of July, they updated Danger Zone to have ranks, but also allowed people of all ranks to be able to play with each other. The ranks made it more competitive, but you were free to undertake the road to hell with friends of any ranks, which made it feel decidedly less restrictive than regular matchmaking. This isn't quite the same way as unranked competitive matchmaking works right now, but is similar enough for me to say that we could have preempted this latest update before it happened. The 3 diffuse maps that can be played in unranked competitive are Ruby, which has been in the game for a few months already and has seen an almost total rehaul to its layout in that time. Seaside, which you might already be familiar with since it's one of the oldest custom maps to be featured in CSGO. It's already been in 3 of the operations, and must be a community favourite to be back again a 4th time. Just like with Workout, I suspect it will end up getting some changes to address bugs that the ever-increasingly critical Counter-Strike community can catch, like this bomb spot, pointed out to me by Richard on Twitter. And lastly, Breach, which is made by seasoned mappers who have also made Agency, Thrill, Zoo, and Castle. It gives off very season-y vibes, with a nice blue sky, modern architecture, and clean-looking interiors, which I guess also looks a bit like Agency. This is the only properly new map to be added to the game in this update. But there have been changes to Vertigo too. It's not been a popular map so far with pros, but Valve is adamant that we will like this map, so has made some more changes to its layout. A new ladder room has been added, connecting terrorists' approach to A with their approach to mid. This will allow for faster rotates, but I think may also help CTs who want a sneaky, but risky, route to get behind the terrorists. This is definitely the main change to the map in this update, but whether it's enough to make it a good map remains to be seen. While this new route has been added, the drop down into bridge has been sealed up, and the lower entrance moved across a bit. The forklift now provides very nice cover for terrorists, and gives them the option of peeking a ramp from 2 sides. I have to say, I'm not happy with this corner here. You have to crouch jump to get up, when it feels like you should just be able to jump up normally. CTs now have much more time to prepare, in part because terrorist spawn has been pushed even further back, delaying their approaches to the bomb sites. But also because the T routes to both sites have been lengthened. The bridge to A has been shifted across a bit, and the entrance to B pit has slid further across as well. The pit itself has been simplified multiple times since Vertigo's reintroduction to the game earlier this year, and this update has seen it get even smaller. Its ground floor no longer offers any spots that are hidden from the site, and the staircase leading to the site fills up most of this section now. Check out this monster of a window. Provided they get close enough to it, both teams can bounce a Molotov off it to set fire to the opposite side, though I suspect it will be mostly used by terrorists to set up flashes and smokes into B site. Note the changes to these rafters, which I suspect are to allow for grenade bounces into strategic spots, and to punish those who casually tossed grenade throws through, hoping to land something awesome by chance. The site itself has also been changed. I'll show before and afters, since most of the cover on the site has been shifted in one direction or another. It conceals more of CT entrance from the site, and brings the walls either side of the main terrorist entrance in line with each other, which will make it easier to smoke off and probably harder to push, since you can't check each corner in turn quite so easily anymore. These units have been numbered so you can more easily say where enemies are. For instance, there are 2 behind 1, although maybe that's not the best example. This window has been opened up between T approach to mid and mid, presumably to allow for more nading opportunities. And over at the back of bombsite A, CTs have had their entrance widened so there are fewer camping spots in this corner, and the scaffolding has been made easier to climb, Nothing has changed to look at, but the clipping now has a bit of a ramp to make it a more pleasant ascent. Normally they slip a few small updates in that they think we won't notice, but I did. At Bombsite A, there are now decals under the crane and on the top of that concrete pit with the protruding metal spikes. Ha! Bet they thought they could slip these things in without anybody noticing. Which makes you wonder what the point was in having them in the first place, doesn't it? And they resized this. Recently, in the Asian Miner, Savage from Team 5 Power used this overpowered boost and connector to wreck the other team. So Valve patched this one up, and addressed a few grenade bugs, and made it easier to mute people, and improved Linux game server performance. And that's it. Enjoy Unranked Matchmaking.